Hello guys, hi. I hope you are doing great. I hope you are doing good. I hope you're still keeping well, keeping safe. If you are listening to this podcast for the 10th time, for the 6th time, can I call you a resident? So hi residents. Hi residents of Forex with Ntombi podcast. That's how I address my mentees. I call them residents of Ntombiville. So, hi, residents of Forex with Ntombi podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening to my, episodes. I know it can be like really challenging listening to me because like I cannot like speak louder like most people. But let's just thank God because I can speak and I can talk. So please try to use headphones, earphones. Just try to do whatever you can do, to to be able to hear me because this is all me. This is all that I can do. I cannot do it louder than this. So, guys, I'm back with one more episode. The episode that I did previously, I think it had so much impact on most people, and I'm grateful that I did it. And thank you so much for sharing it. And thank you so much for sharing it with your friends, with your kids. Thank you for sharing it with your colleagues, with your peers. It really means a lot because it also helps, the channel to reach out to as many people as possible. Most people need to hear, this kind of, I almost said voice note, this kind of like podcast because most people are just lost. But obviously, people are consuming, this content online. So when there's like 95% of, same content online, that's what people are going to consume. And that's what people are going to end up believing. It is no lie that the industry that I am in is really bombarded with fraud, with there's so much lying, there's so much, scamming, there's so much like, inappropriate stuff going on. But of course, I can always try to make a difference. So my main purpose, or the main purpose of this channel is to educate so that you can see the other side of the coin, the other side of forex, understand it for what it is. So previously I spoke about why people shouldn't just drop everything that they do, work, school and businesses, and only focus on trading when they have smaller capital. It was not only about capital. You can listen to the previous episode if you haven't listened to it, then you will find all the information there. So today I'm coming back with another important topic, which is why do people invest so much money in the forex market and yet believe that they should ignore the economy, they should ignore politics, they should ignore everything else and just focus on charts. Disclaimer: this is not about which method is better than the other. This is not me trying to push my method of trading. This is not me trying to say this is how you should trade. But this is rather me sharing, my own experiences. Then you can take your lessons. If you find some lessons, from this content, hopefully you will find some lessons from this content. So you all know that I started trading back in 2009, and between 2009 to 2012, I was just trying to find myself. I've shared, a lot on that. But while I was trying to find myself, I only just believed that trading was all about, me having a smartphone, internet. I could be sitting in the beach somewhere, sipping some wine and cocktails, and voila, making money. That is how it is mostly sold to most people. That is what most people are believing it to be, which is why most people are easily falling, for scams and fraud and, because people think it is all about, you get a cell phone, you get the internet, and then you connect, and voila, you make the money, which is not the entire truth. Of course, I've always said that there is money in trading, there is money in the markets, but you do not just wake up one day with zero knowledge, zero experience, and, start making money. So, because obviously, when you are investing in something, when you are investing in something, it always works better if you understand, how the money is made, if you understand, the fundamentals of what you are investing in. So let's look at the markets, for instance. Between 2009 to 2012, I believed that I only just needed my cell phone and nothing else. So obviously, it was all about me buying the next Holy Grail, looking for the next Holy Grail, looking for the most popular one, buying robots, and. Because that is how it was sold to me. So now, why do most people think that their tools are failing them? Sometimes it's not even about their tools, but it is about not understanding how the markets work. I've heard something from this other guy some years ago. This guy said to me, he actually came to me, and this guy said to me, because he probably knows how I trade, because it's not a secret that I do not trade the markets blindly. I do not trade the markets only focusing on technicals, because I have tried that, and I believe that for me to invest so much money in this market, I need to understand what really move these markets. So I had to learn and learn and learn. So now this guy said to me, you see the economic news that you are always posting on your website. So guys, if you didn't know, I own a website called www.learnfxtrading.net. So I do blog posts there. I'm going to leave the address at the bottom of this episode. So this guy came to me, and then he came to my emails, of course. He sent me an email, and then we took the conversation all the way to WhatsApp. Then there were calls, and this guy was saying to me, his argument was, all these things that I believe moving the markets, it is actually just manipulation. Okay, because I don't like to argue. I don't like to argue. People who know me know that I do not like to argue, especially about the markets and stuff. I do not like to argue. So I said to this guy, okay, fine. If you think that the markets are manipulated, I would rather know, when is the next manipulation day? When is the next manipulation day? Of course, because I don't want to argue with nobody. So I said to him, I would rather know, when is the next manipulation day, because he was saying to me, you see these things that you are following, trying to understand why a country is hiking interest rates. Those things, they actually do not matter, because it's all just manipulation. Then I said to him, I would rather know, when is the next manipulation day, so that I can sit and listen to this manipulation, because this manipulation at the end of the day is going to move the markets. And when the markets are moving and they're affecting me, as a smaller investor. The markets are moving, they're affecting me more than they're affecting bigger investors like banks and so forth. So I would rather know, when is the next manipulation day. And he ended up saying to me, you always have answers for everything. But yeah, that's a story for another day. So let's come back to, why do I believe that when you invest your money in the markets, you need to at least understand what is going on? Because if you are going to invest your money and you only depend on watching charts, that is why people are so exhausted, people are frustrated, people are losing a lot of money. Because if you are investing your money in the markets but you are ignoring everything else, like politics, you don't have to be like a politician, you don't have to study politics, you don't have to be an economist, but you need to at least understand these things, because at the end of the day, these things are going to affect you. So if you are ignorant and you don't believe, it is better to say, I know that these things do affect the market, it's just that I don't know how to take advantage of them when they happen, other than saying I don't believe in those things. I always say that, when it comes to seasons, like now we're approaching winter. So in SA, guys, as black people, we only have summer and winter. So right now, I'm just going to say it's winter. I don't know about you, but right now I'm just going to say it's winter. So it's winter now. I cannot now be saying things like, I actually don't believe in winter, and think that just because I don't believe in winter, then winter is not going to affect me. Winter is going to affect me, And winter is also going to affect the one who believes in winter. It is not something that I can choose. I cannot just wake up and choose not to believe in winter and think that just because I decided that I don't believe in winter, therefore I won't need any jacket, I won't need any boots, I won't need any blankets and so forth, because I don't believe in winter. So I always get a lot of people saying to me, because most of the people that I train or people that I assist with trading are people who are like they are done, are people who are like they are tired. They've been trying this for years and they are always winning, but then out of the blue, boom, all the money is lost, and they are so surprised why the money is lost. It is because they don't understand what else is happening, in the markets. So now, whether you believe it or not, it is still going to affect you, just like winter. Try it. Wake up tomorrow and say, I do not believe in winter. Let's see if it's not going to affect you. So you cannot choose. You can't say, for me, if someone says, how do I choose whether I want to be a fundamental trader or a technical trader? I say you don't choose. The minute you choose to invest your money in the market, it is the minute you should choose to understand the term interest rate. Last night, there were interest rates in the US. Whether you believe in interest rates or not, whether you understand interest rates or not, interest rates are going to affect the currency. And the same currency that you are trading is the same currency that is being traded by someone who believes in interest rates, that is now me and my team, and someone who doesn't, who thinks trading is just charts. It is going to affect all of us. So if you have an opportunity to understand these fundamentals and to understand how they affect them. I prefer someone who says to me, I don't understand how the fundamentals affect, currency, stocks, etc. Therefore, I choose not to trade when there's something happening in the markets. That's not ignorant. That is someone who is actually admitting that yes, these currencies and these stocks or whatever that we are trading, all these financial instruments that we are trading, they don't just move randomly, because otherwise we would be looking at our rand. I'm just going to make an example with the rand because I'm in SA. We would be looking at our rand trading at a flat rate since 50 years ago. But because there are things that are happening, on a day-to-day basis, microeconomic news, etc., breaking news, etc., these are the things that are affecting the markets. Hence, we see what we see on charts moving up and down. So you cannot choose to totally ignore these because you are now being ignorant and yet you are willing to invest your money. You are literally just saying, I'm going to gamble. So this podcast or this episode, it is all about enlightening you. Rather say, I don't understand how they affect the markets. Instead of saying, someone said it's just for entertainment. I was like, okay, let me wait for the next entertainment day and watch the entertainment and see if I can take advantage of that. In 2016, because obviously I'm kind of like a go-to person for most people who are struggling, in the markets. So in 2016, when Brexit happened, a lot of people were kicked out of the markets. Like, it wasn't nice. It was like hectic. But it was mostly people who didn't understand what was happening, because people who do not believe in this, I'm saying this again, you don't have to believe in it. Brexit happened and it affected the markets. And it didn't matter whether you believed in it, whether you knew about it, whether you understood how to take advantage of the opportunities that were there. It affected you. Last night, there was FOMC, meeting. Some people will always say, Forex trading is like gambling. You blink and all your money is gone. Of course, you are doing it blindly. If you don't understand that interest rates have some impact, not some impact, they have an impact in currency valuation, then you shouldn't be investing in the markets unless, if no one has ever told you that and you absolutely have no idea of how this can affect the markets. Rather say, I understand that, when there's some scandal, when there's some cabinet reshuffling, these things do affect the markets. So now, this is how people are. People would say they don't believe in this. Then come the elections. The same people who are saying they don't believe in this, they are everywhere posting poison on the internet. saying if this president wins, this is what will happen. Those people, they like to predict the markets. Anyone who says they can predict the markets, run, because no one can predict the markets. But if you can give yourself a chance, give yourself some time to learn about why the markets are moving in the first place, you are going to position yourself, you are going to put yourself in a better position. Look at trading like, driving a car. When you learn how to drive a car, you do not just focus on your steering wheel and your brakes end, but you also need to be able to see your blind spots, right? So if you are now saying you are going to invest $2,000, $5,000 in the markets, but you don't want to use your blind spots, that is now you understanding, or at least knowing, even if you don't understand. Because sometimes I do teach people who will say, I don't trade when I know that there's some interest rates in Australia or whichever country. I stay away because I don't want to lose money, because I don't understand how these are affecting the markets. But I can see that every time these happen, they actually do kick me out, and I've been having like margin call after margin call. That is someone who is looking for empowerment. They want to learn. They understand that there is something that they are missing. But there's this someone else who is like totally naive. I don't blame them though, because this is what we've been sold. I don't blame them though, because everyone just think that is why people want to drop everything and trade. That is why, kids wants to just drop everything because some guy, dropped everything and some guy was successful and because people do not understand what else is required from them. So you are driving a car and you are saying you are only going to get inside of your car and you are not going to pay attention to whoever else is driving on the road. You are not going to pay attention to your side mirrors. You are not going to use any mirrors. You are just going to look forward and drive. That is basically what you are doing. That is basically what you are doing. When you are driving a car, you need to understand the road signs. You need to know the road signs so that you can also know where to turn, where to stop, where to yield. When you trade, you also need to understand that you don't just invest money and, get some software, plug it in and then trade and voila, make some money, ignoring everything else that, is affecting the markets. Because you are also not going to know when not to trade, because knowing when not to trade is also a great skill. But it comes with understanding why are you not trading today. It comes with understanding why is it a bad idea to trade today. But if you are just trading, you are always going to find yourself switching from one strategy to the other. I'm not saying be a guys, I love economic news and how I trade because I think it's totally amazing. But this episode is not about that. This episode is not about selling my method of trading. This episode is about saying you cannot ignore what moves the market, just like you cannot ignore winter, you cannot ignore summer. It is still going to affect you, right? It's just like now, if you can say, I don't believe in COVID, it doesn't mean it's not going to affect you. It is going to affect you. We are all on lockdown. We are affected by COVID. Whether you believe there's COVID or whether you believe, I don't even want to get started with the theories now because it's not about that. Whether you believe there's COVID or whether you believe there's no COVID, COVID is affecting you. Talking about COVID, speaking of COVID, when COVID happened, people were confused, people were losing money, people were saying, no, in the markets there is no recession. When there's a bad situation happening in some country, there are trading opportunities. But you need to understand what kind of trading opportunities are created by, what kind of a situation. COVID has been like really bad for the economy, but there's been trading opportunities because of COVID. It is all about understanding and also understanding that you do not choose whether you want to believe in it or not. COVID happened. All countries started to cut the rates. They did not cut the rates for those who believe in economic news. They didn't cut the rates for those who believe in monetary policy statements, etc., etc. The rates were cut. All central banks decided to cut the rates and everyone got affected. The person who trades, the person who doesn't trade, the person who doesn't know anything about trading, the person who understands the markets like I do, the person who doesn't, who is just trading technicals, we were all affected. But we are affected differently because if you understand what is happening, you can be affected positively because you can take advantage of those. These are now the things that I teach in detail. This is what my trading method is all about. So this podcast is not about saying I've got the best trading method. I don't self-appoint myself as someone who has the best trading, method. But what I'm saying is, rather say I do not understand how politics affect the market. Instead of saying it's for entertainment, you don't believe in it. If you don't believe in it, by all means, do not invest your money. If you do not believe that interest rate have some, do not invest your money. If you don't believe that there is fundamental reason for everything that is happening in the markets, do not invest your money. Otherwise, you are going to just repeat the cycle. I always say that investing in the market is not exciting at all. The reason why most people are losing money is because over 90% are obviously looking for this excitement because it looks exciting. But once you understand what needs to be done and what you need to learn, you are then going to understand that it is actually boring, it is not exciting, but you get empowered because you get to understand, why things are happening. So, yeah, that's all that I wanted to say. Okay, I've said it for like 21 minutes. Wow, that's all that I wanted to say. If you are planning to invest your money in the markets, do not ignore everything else and just focus on, you just want to place that trade. Like I said, you drive a car, you need to pay attention to your side mirror so that you can, see your blind spots. Otherwise, you are going to crash. If you don't see your blind spot, you're going to hit other cars and you're going to damage your car. If you do not see the blind spots and you don't know what is happening, it's like people are trading sometimes at the wrong time, but people don't understand, and then they don't even know when is the right time not to trade. They don't even understand that knowing when not to trade is also a great skill. So these are the things that people need to learn. So obviously, if you are the one who says, I've always seen this, every time I place a trade, I'm doing okay, then out of the blue, I lose all the money, then obviously you're always blaming it. You're always blaming your tools, or maybe you are blaming your mentor, or maybe you are blaming whoever, you are blaming the broker or whoever. But you need to understand that it makes no sense to invest thousands and thousands of money in something that you don't understand. So yeah, guys, you must think about this. Think about this. We don't choose. It happens and it affects all of us. COVID is affecting the markets. Therefore, if you have invested some money, you are affected. Brexit happened. If you had invested some money at that time in 2016, you got affected. So when the interest rates are cut, the interest rates are hiked, they affect the currencies, the same currencies that we trade. So if you can have, an opportunity to learn how these are affecting the markets, why not? Because it will also eliminate this thing of feeling like you are just gambling, you are just lucky. That is why people think trading is all about waking up in the morning and you sit in front of your computer the whole day and literally the whole night. It is because most people do not understand that this is something that you can plan around. Just try to listen to what the market is saying. Forget the fact that people are saying it's manipulation. Rather know when is the next manipulation day. Lastly, someone said to me, I don't like these news because they don't last. We don't want them to last. We just want to know what the market is saying. Who is hiking the interest rates? How is it affecting the markets? How can we take advantage? That's basically what trading is all about. It is all about taking advantage of good and bad situations that are happening in other countries. Then you take advantage by trading their currencies, you trade their indices, etc., etc. So I hope this information helps. If you need anything, you need to learn more, of course you can contact me. I'm gonna leave my contact details. Then you can contact me via WhatsApp. That's the most effective way to communicate with me, via WhatsApp, because it's instant chat. Don't try to communicate with me via Facebook inbox. It's so unreliable. Don't try to communicate via email. You can communicate via email, but it's not instant. But if you want to say hi and I say hi back and probably send you a voice note, then you can contact me via WhatsApp. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. I hope you found some value in this podcast or in this episode. On this episode, please kindly share with your friends, your peers, or whoever you think may be in need of this information. Thank you again. Please do take care of yourself. Bye.